typically our philosophy here is that of transition research that by necessity can only be done in and with practice. So the frontier often of all these sustainability challenges. So in Rotterdam we have big air pollution issues, we have congestion and mobility issues, energy poverty, climate vulnerability.
I saw a percentage that the city center was relatively less inhabited than other comparative cities.
Yeah, so it was identified as one of the persistent problems. Yeah, it's a long history. We were bombed in the Second World War by the Germans. And it's a famous Rotterdam quote, first we were bombed by the Germans and then by the modernist architects. Entrepreneurial policymakers are trying to look for new ways to make progress.
Yes.
And we provide a kind of analytical perspective, but also a methodological way of experimentation.
Okay.
And that is what they like.
The Rotterdam Climate Initiative started in 2007. Mr. Bill Clinton came to Rotterdam, and then the mayor wanted to offer something to Bill Clinton. And he offered a Rotterdam Climate Initiative to cut down on CO2 emissions, 50% on mobility, port, built environment, etc. So suddenly there was this task. So we said, okay, there's another big thing in Rotterdam, which is that, the city center is full with buildings, but not with people. At least at that time.
Okay.
So not like Amsterdam, where it's bustling. It's getting much better, and especially the last 4 years with this building behind us. And so the densification of the city, but also the greening and improving quality of life, that was our main topic for the music project.
Let me first say that the whole process is about empowering marginalized actors.
Okay.
So the starting point in transitions is what we would call the regime. It's the institutionalized context. We know that there's a lot of individuals within these institutions that are still proactive, are looking for change.
Okay.
But there's also a lot of individuals outside this regime context that are doing interesting stuff that are not heard or are deliberately marginalized or whatever. So the basic logic that we took was that of the transition arena, as we call it. The basic idea is that you first create a team, a transition team, where transition researchers and the practitioners, a small group works together. So the idea is with this team, the first phase is that you create a basic transition analysis that includes both sort of looking back into the history of the city, the dominant patterns, the geography, the dominant infrastructures, industry, so the regime, but also the context, so what's happening around us, but also identify niches and seeds of change and innovators. So that includes identifying change agents. So that's the preparatory phase, but that's very important because you redefine the problems. It's not a policy implementation problem, it's a social change issue. And then the second phase, the participatory phase, starts. Basically 15-20 people are invited and go through a structured process of revisiting this analysis. So it's a validation, do you recognize it? Or so trying to create a shared problem definition. Usually that takes 1 or 2 sessions at least. Then a session on envisioning and guiding principles. So in the problem structuring, a group defines the basic unsustainabilities or persistent unsustainability in our jargon. And then you try to flip that in terms of what is then our desired future direction. So then you set the vision, and then follows a process of backcasting and trying to translate this vision into short-term actions or reconnect it to what is already going on. One of the persistent problems here is the empty was the empty city center, and that has completely changed It led to this city lounge idea. So we have a new central station area. They are now halfway completing redevelopment of the Koolsingel, one of our central boulevards. At least 2 lanes of traffic are gone and are given to the pedestrians and bicycles.
Super.
Well, it's not radical enough.
No.
A key message from this project. Well, I think that transition management is really an accelerator, that's for sure, and that you need to bring information at a table which people believe in, especially in a time with false information and all that stuff. So at the same time, a lot of stuff happened in the city, and also the mayor of the city said, wow, we believe in this project, in this kind of idea.